Hi, my name is Angela Fagg, and this is Messengers of Truth. Today is, you see it? You're not helping at all, Jimmy.
Say the date.
October 5th, I think, Saturday at 11:23 a.m. Okay. So today we're going to be talking about weather modification and weather wars, which I believe that we are in right now. So on September 17th, the government of Florida, Governor DeSantis, had a nice long speech about the Trump assassination, and he said a lot of things. I left a link in the description. So you can watch the whole thing. It's on Rumble, and I wanted to show you this little excerpt because it's pretty. It's not funny, but it's, this is what this guy in Florida said, and then we got 10 days later Hurricane Helene, right? Helene. So here we go.
Extent of the law. Go into this investigation with our partners in FDLE and the Sheriff of Palm Beach County and Martin County, candidly, with the promise of the exchange of information on both sides. We make that commitment. However, Governor, our promise is that if the higher-ups in the federal government refuse to provide the light of transparency, then we will fight in the shade. The people.
Okay, so he said that, we'll fight in the shade because the federal government is not wanting to be transparent with the Trump assassination. And they're just, come on, it's the federal government. It's the Biden-Harris administration is what everybody says. But that's not, we all, come on, America, we're not stupid no more, are we? So 10 days after that, Hurricane Helene hit. Go to the next one. So on September 17th, they did that. I'm sorry, I'm losing my words. So on September 17th, Florida said that they were going to take over the investigation for the attempted assassination on Trump. 10 days later, on September 26th, Hurricane Helene at 11:25 p.m. made landfall. But the storm had already started the day before. We already started getting things here in Cape Coral in southwest Florida. Now, weather modification is going on. I've lived in Florida my whole entire life, and I've never seen a hurricane come out of the Bay of Campeche, whatever it's called, dude. I can't even pronounce it, all right? And now there's a second storm coming out of the same area. They're going to call that one Milton. So Jimmy, put up the next one. So this is AI telling you, because that's what we did. We put it in the Google, what is it called? Gemini. And this is what it brought up. And it's weather manipulation. Weather manipulation has been used since the 1940s in many countries. However, it can have environmental consequences and can be used as a weapon in the military or economic warfare. For example, during the Vietnam War, the U.S. military used weather manipulation to create mud on the Ho Chi Minh Trail. Ho Chi Minh Trail. Okay? So, I mean, that just tells you right there. We don't have, this many hurricanes just pop out of nowhere and start hitting Florida. Okay? It's like the federal government is telling us, you're stepping over the line. You can't do this. You can't do that. So, meanwhile, nobody caught this either. So, meanwhile, where we're dealing with this hurricane, then the ports shut down. Well, DeSantis earlier in that day, what day was that? It was
October 1st.
It was
the strike started October 1st. He came out October 3rd.
October 3rd, DeSantis came out and he said that he was going to send the National Guard to the ports to help them, to unload product and stuff so it wouldn't affect America as bad as the Biden administration wanted to. So hours later, after he puts that out, the Biden-Harris administration, they decide that they're going to come with an agreement for the port strike so the workers will go back to work. You see, they can't have Florida outdoing them and allowing our Coast Guard or anything from Florida to outdo them, because we will. There's no reason why we should have to go through these things with this administration or any other administration. Okay? Weather manipulation, it's real. And that video that I did about burning that book, and I said that the reason why I was burning that guy's book is because he was a liar, is because he's a liar, all right? That's why I burned it, because we've been doing weather modification, manipulation, geoengineering, making snow, all kinds of stuff. You see, you got these right here. Or you use these depending on if you're using your phone or not. What you need to do is you get on there and you start looking this up and it'll show. Like they were a couple weeks ago in Colorado or somewhere. I don't know where it was. I don't remember. But they were making snow because the resort didn't get enough snow last year. So they're starting to help them get the snow now by making the snow for them. Okay? So what I'm telling you is, and I'm going to outright say it, okay, is Florida, you better brace for impact. We've got another hurricane coming, and they're attacking us. This is weather warfare. It's going to go, things are going to happen in everywhere. If you've been fighting against the government on anything, they're going to start using their weather manipulation to do this. It's being brought to light so you will see that this has been going on for a long time. Not only do they make them stronger or steer them, they also can put things in them to make you sick. Think about it. Do you think we're supposed to inhale aluminum? No. We're losing feed. Okay, I just saw it. But anyway, so they've wrecked the top of Florida with this last hurricane. Now, that was the second or third storm. I believe it was 7 weeks before Helena, Hurricane Debbie came through, which flooded a lot of coastal areas. And in my area, actually, it flooded some places and in Fort Myers Beach, I mean, they're just pummeling it. And I'll tell you why. Because the people in Fort Myers Beach wanted to keep it a small coastal town, just for small tourists. It's a lot of old retired people that come here. It's not supposed to be Daytona Beach where we have these large spring breaks and everybody's, partying and shit. It's not supposed to be like that there. And the people were fighting against it. So now they're destroying their lands so they can take them, because a lot of people are selling now. And with this next hurricane coming through and the damage that it's going to cause, more people are going to sell their property, especially coastal lines, because they don't want to go through it anymore, when it is absolutely unnatural. Okay, this is not, they've been messing with everything. They got their okay. I'm not going to go through the rest of it. I'm going to stick on the weather manipulation. They use HAARP for it. They use other things. But what I will tell you is I believe, because of reading, and I'm still reading, the book of Jubilees in the 54 books of the Apocrypha, on the part of Solomon, it talks about how God gave Solomon the knowledge to be able to control demons. And one of the demons said that he does storms, okay? I believe that they have figured out nothing in this world is not spiritual. Everything is spiritual. There's no coincidences. We have to start realizing that these people are using spiritual ways against us. And not just look at somebody and tell them that they're crazy when they tell you that these are demon storms, because that's what they are. These are demon storms. They know how to make them move. They know how to everything. Those are those laser beams you see coming out. It's making them do what they want them to do. I know it sounds crazy. I know it sounds off the wall, but I'm telling you that's what it is. All right? It's important that we pray a lot. And it's also important that we come to the knowledge and the factual stuff that not everything, this is all spiritual. We are in a serious war right now for America. And people need to realize this. America is important because it's important to the rest of the world. There are people that don't even live in America that are Americans. And what I mean by that is in their hearts. In their hearts, they know that this is God's country. They know that they even want to be here with their children, and they want to have the freedoms that we used to have. So when I say American, I'm not talking about the color of anybody's skin. I'm talking about who you are inside. We all bleed the same. It is important that we realize that the manipulation that they've been doing is to keep us apart. They're using demons. I'm being very serious here. So what I do, because this came to I came on this knowledge a few years ago. And the reason why is because I was having some wild dreams, visions, whatever you would like to use the name for them, about horrific weather events. I couldn't tell if it was war or it was weather events, because everything, there was just destruction everywhere. And that's when I was shown, my nose, I have bad allergies. That's when I was shown that they have been working on weather modification for decades, before I was even born. And it's important that people start to realize these things, because I think that this is really, really spiritual. And I think that people need to understand that better. And I don't know how to explain it completely to you. But what I do know is I know that everybody can feel something different in the atmosphere lately. It went from a really good atmosphere for a day, and then it just dropped. I'm trying not to cuss, okay? I have a dirty mouth. I felt it. Okay, I felt this. I felt it yesterday again too. So I'm going to explain to you the best way that I know how to explain the feeling. Okay? I've thought about this for the last 24 hours on how I would actually, explain this. So I've done a lot of drugs in my life. I quit drugs a long time ago. But I used to eat a lot of ecstasy and go to clubs and go to house parties and, the whole shebang. But ecstasy and pure MDMA, it gives you this feeling of your body is tingly, your hair is tingly, your arms, you sweat, you're always thirsty. Like you can feel the air almost. Okay? That's the only time I've ever had that feeling. Now I know that feeling is wrong from the devil because he manipulates everything. And I want to tell you how I know that. Because yesterday, I was listening to some music, and I don't listen to, the old dance music like I used to a long time ago, but something told me just to play it, right? And a lot of the songs are all about, love, and so I turned them all into God songs, okay? Well, this one song came on, and I'll sing. I'm a horrible singer. It says, take me to the water, summertime, maybe we can fall in love. It's a great song. So I was singing it, but I was singing it to God because I love him, right? And as I was singing it, my whole body got tingly, dude. And it was like this massive high all of a sudden, okay? Like I could feel the air, I started sweating and stuff, and my head was all tingly, and I didn't want it to stop. I wanted it to just keep going. And what I saw because my eyes were closed, and what I saw was a young Angela, and I saw myself as a little girl. I used to have white hair and real dark skin because I always was outside. And I saw these dunes. This isn't a beach I've ever been before. This was a beautiful beach. So I was on a towel, and God came over to me and he took my hand to the water. Okay, and it moved me so much that I listened to that over and over again because I just wanted that feeling, and I could see it, And that's what the presence of God is like. It is feeling that complete comfort. It's ecstasy. It's pure love. Some people wonder what pure love is, and pure love isn't, oh, I'm so in love with him. No, pure love is what God gives you. It's the air we breathe, and the trees, and the sky, and the beautiful waterfalls that I seem not to be allowed to go and see yet. I went on a lot of road trips right before Corona, and we could never find the waterfall for some reason. But whatever. That's a different story. So why I'm explaining and using the drug analogy is because there's a lot of people out there that are fighting, that are searching for that connection. And the ecstasy and the MDMA is the false connection, is what I'm trying to say. Because when you're on those drugs, you can feel it. So that's the false connection. But when you open yourself up and you start to trust God, he shows you the true ecstasy, the true what it feels like to be with him and to know that it's okay. So I want to pray right now for Florida and all of America. Okay? Our Father, thank you for watching over us, and thank you for being with us. We could really use some help right now with opening people's minds and hearts for you to show them pure love and calmness, as the things that we have to go through are going to be rough in the next year. So please send everybody pure love in their heart and calmness in their souls to be able to fight the evil ones. Give us all the strength and the knowledge of love and what love is like for your neighbors and your friends and how we're supposed to stick together, and that everybody stays calm and just helps everybody, no matter if it's illegal aliens or not. It's time for all to come together, and I pray that you hear us, and I pray that other people connect to this prayer so we can make it through this the best that we can. In the name of Yeshua, amen. So I watch, I like William Wallace, okay? And this part right here, this goes out to the people who are trying to control all of us. The Weef, the Who, the Ka, the Phoebe, the Web.
Him an annual duty.
I have an offer for you. Jotham, this is William Wallace.
From which you will pay the king an annual duty.
I said I have an offer for you.
You disrespect your banner of truce.
From his king? Absolutely. Here are Scotland's terms. Lower your flags and march straight back to England, stopping at every home you pass by to beg forgiveness for 100 years of theft, rape and murder. Do that, and your men shall live. Do it not, and every one of you will die today.
I'm sorry. Put it on me. I'm sorry, we started the video at the wrong spot, so we're going to do a little do-over there. He's trying to find it. Go.
Him an annual duty.
It went back again.
Jotham,
We'll just fix it there. It goes back. Further than that.
pick a fight.
Further than that.
Where are you going? You're going to pick a... Now what do we do? Find the speech. Now what do we do? Just be yourself. Where are you going? You're going to pick a fight. Well, I didn't get dressed up for nothing.
Monet, Lachlan Craig. Here are the king's terms. Lead this army off the field, and he will give you each estates in Yorkshire, including hereditary title, from which you will pay him an annual duty.
I have an offer for you. Jotham, this is William Wallace.
From which you will pay the king an annual duty.
I said I have an offer for you.
You disrespect your banner of truce.
From his king? Absolutely. Here are Scotland's terms. Lower your flags and march straight back to England, stopping at every home you pass by to beg forgiveness for 100 years of theft, rape and murder. Do that, and your men shall live. Do it not, and every one of you will die today.
You are outmatched. You have no heavy cavalry. In 2 centuries, no army has won with it.
I'm not finished. Before we let you leave, your commander must cross that field, present himself before this army, put his head between his legs, You kiss his own arse. I'd say that was rather less cordial than he was used to.
Is it on me?
Yep.
Sorry for the mishap. It kept going to a different spot than what it was supposed to. So, the point being there is this is what we're telling you. You have had 100 or more years now to take you and your men off our land. What William Wallace said. Because there's men out there in America right now. And they're seeing what you're doing with that weather modification. And then I also want to tell the UN, the EU, whatever else you want to call yourself, the Nation of Foreign Relations, the Davos, Klaus Schwab, Bill Gates, all of them. This is the next part. You see, you guys think that you're the divine whatever, but America, we think we're this. America, we think we're this. That means go to the video.
It is my divine power that I am a generous God. I can make you rich beyond all measure. I will make you warlord of all Greece. You will carry my battle standard to the heart of Europa. Your Athenian rivals will kneel at your feet. If you will but kneel at mine.
You are generous. Yes, you are. Divine. O King of Kings. Such an offer only a madman would refuse. But the idea of kneeling, it's, you see, slaughtering all those men of yours has left a nasty cramp in my leg, so kneeling will be hard for me.
There will be no glory in your sacrifice. I will erase even the memory of Sparta from the histories. Every piece of Greek parchment shall be burned. Every Greek historian and every scribe shall have their eyes put out and their tongues cut from their mouths. Why, uttering the very name of Sparta or Leonidas will be punishable by death. The world will never know you existed at all.
The world will know that free men stood against a tyrant, that few stood against many. And before this battle was over, that even a god king can bleed.
When I would gladly kill one of my own men.
Okay, so we're the Spartans, and we're telling you, okay, America's telling you that this ain't happening, and that you will not stamp out America out of the history books, out of anything. And we won't stamp you out either, because we're going to make sure you're known so you'll never be able to do what you've been doing for the last 100-some years. Okay? Just want to let you know that people aren't going to let this happen. And we're going to fight you spiritually also. You see, we know what kind, everybody by now should know what kind of war we're in right now. Now, these are the people that I use for watching the weather on. The first one is Mr. Weatherman, and I like what he has to say. Him and the other guy, Weatherman Plus. Weatherman Plus always gives a Bible verse at the end of his videos. And he always gives a lot more information than what my local news lady gives. She's not very good. Okay, well, she just takes her orders and does whatever. That's a whole nother story. We'll talk about how much the news lies to you anyway, especially the people here in Cape Coral. It's absolutely ridiculous. And you say, Angela, why don't you just turn the channel? It's because I want to see what kind of lies that they're telling. I want to make sure that I know what they're talking about also. That's why I keep watching the other side and watching all. I just want to pay attention. Now, I have something to say that I feel like I should have said at the beginning, but I'm going to say it now. I didn't start making videos because I wanted to be an influencer, that I wanted to have all kinds of people. My hair's bothering me. That I wanted to have all kinds of people and be some kind of large influencer, because I'm not an influencer. And that's not why I make these videos. And that's not even why I made the name, why we called the channel Messengers of Truth. I wanted to start the channel with Frog News Network because I happen to like frogs, because I liked Kermit the Frog, because that's what I grew up on when I was a kid. And I figured it would be a cool name. I didn't know that somebody else had already had a channel, so that didn't work. So I used Jimmy helped me, and we said Messengers of Truth, because we wanted to be telling the truth, because that's what I do, is the truth. I didn't know that it was some kind of thing in the church, to be honest with you. I didn't know that there was a spirit of truth that was written in the Old Testament, and it's talked about in the New Testament, even though it's all supposed to be the same thing. There's no old or new. And honestly, it started for me before I was even born. They wanted to get rid of me. They wanted to abort me. They didn't want me born. But my mom stuck to it, and she didn't abort me this time. Well, because she had other abortions that she was forced to have when she was... Anyways, the point being is she fought to have me. And then they tried to take me at 8 months in my mom's stomach. And in 1979, a lot of babies didn't make it being born at 8 months old. I wasn't born regular. They did a C-section because they told my mom I had to come out. So my fight has been my whole entire life. And I'm not saying this so we can sit there and measure. Look, I'm trying to be nice, but this is the only way I know how to say it. I'm not saying these things so we can sit there and measure each other's dicks. Because one, neither one of us have a fucking dick. We have vaginas, all right? And I happen to like you. And not only that, I happen to be older than you too. By maybe a few days. Born in the same month too. And I happen to like you, so don't come at me like this anymore. All right? I know you didn't say my name, and I'm not going to say yours, but I know that you're watching. Before you sit there and listen to other people that just read paperwork or whatever, maybe you should actually reach out to the person. Just saying. I wouldn't mind. All right? I like you. Matter of fact, you're the one who got me to go to the it was Reopening America, but the Reawaken America conferences, because I saw you at the first one. All right? So that's where we got that. Oh, wait a minute. I forgot something. We started a Shopify and made some shirts and some cups up. So Jimmy did a commercial for it because he went to school for this type of stuff. And I wanted to show you that before we go. Like, he's going to show you. Do you got the commercial to be able to go up?
Yep.
And I'm sorry, but when we end the live, Jimmy will put it up in the description. You see, we're still trying to get our bearings on doing all this, and I appreciate the people that do watch my videos, and I hope that you'll like, subscribe, and share. Listen, Florida and the rest of the country, and what I also mean is I mean Canada too. There are brothers and sisters of the North, and they're fighting like we are right now. We will make it through this. I promise you that. And at the end of it, there's going to be beautiful things will happen. Babies will be born. Well, it's going to be beautiful, okay? I promise you that. It's going to take a while to get there, but we're going to see things that we just don't want to see. But we'll get it through there, okay? Because there's people all over America that love other people. All right? And just always, always know, no matter how much or how bad things may seem, it always passes, and God does love you. He loves you so much. Jesus loves you too. And even if nobody's told you all day today that they love you, I love you. No matter who you are, I do love you. And always know that you are beautiful or handsome if you're a dude. You're smart. And you can make it through anything because you're a child of God and Jesus is your brother. Right? Try to have a good day. Make sure you get everything you need for these hurricanes, Florida. Get all your stuff ready.